Like, what about the single people? You guys are making us feel like we're
So Daisy, you got to love yourself. So you get to cross over with you. Put in date nights. Date nights go in third. And if you've got no one to go on to dates with, you got to date yourself.
Yeah.
Date yourself, Daisy. All right, guys, welcome. Conversations that Convert. Today's conversation is going to be fun. And this conversation came out a couple different coaching calls this week. And so I wanted to and the theme has been coming up. And so my goal and my intention is to bring this call to spread this message, because I love it. And it's a powerful message, and I'm excited for it. Lewis, I see you, brother.
Yeah, I'll get it going, man. I'd say the last couple weeks here, having Nevin on the call previously and then having you yesterday, that's just been fantastic of seeing, two people from this group back to back, just sharing to the larger group, where business has been at, things that have been going on. And it's just been a nice reminder of this process of the thing that we all decided to commit to. So thank you.
Hey, man, no, thank you. Right? Because I appreciate you being on this call, and you make this call better. And I'll just go back to the last thing I said on that call. We said on this call is that life moves at the speed of your relationships. And guys, we're connected. This call, this is family. For me, I take it this way. I don't take this call lightly. For me, this is my family reunion. This is my check-in. So many times we show up in a way that we think people need us to show up, and we neglect to show up as ourselves. And so the people that become attracted or come to us with a false persona. And then whenever stress happens, whenever life happens and the real you comes out, sometimes they go, who is that? And then people leave or get weird. But what it was is that you were never really you. And the wrong people came in. When the mask drops and you really get to be you, or have to be you. When you have to show up as yourself, the wrong people go, what the F? And the right people are like, hey, come on, bro, I got you. I am done placating and protecting the wrong people, because my people show up when we need each other. And if that scares you, goodbye. Blake, did that hit it? Was that about it?
Yeah, more or less. There's something, Melissa brought it up to me. She's like, who you are in that, I'll just say in this specific instance, who you are in that listing video is a character that you're playing. No, you're 100% right. And she's like, that character is not going to take you to the place that you want to go. Who's going to take you where you need to go? The person that you know who you truly are inside and who I've seen you be.
I just want to touch base on your reaction there, which is natural and loving. However, do I have your trust on this call? Do you believe that what I'm delivering is here to help you and not hurt you? Do you believe that if I say something on this call, I'm sharing, number one, something that really hurt and destroyed me, that I'm looking to make sure it doesn't happen to you, and something that I needed to hear in order to level up? So if I share that and it comes across in a way that if somebody else were to say it, you'd punch them square in the face because they haven't earned the right. Going back to Susan Scott's book, Fierce Conversations, she talks about the conversation is the relationship and the relationship is the conversation. That is the main premise of the book. Inside that is simply this: any relationship without candor is dysfunctional. If it's simply pump up, positive, etc., and you're literally ignoring something from your best friend and not calling them out on their shit that you're seeing from a mile away, and they're constantly self-destructing, or they're constantly making excuses, or they're constantly sliding back into mediocrity, or whatever it is, and if you're not willing to stand up and love them enough to pull them aside and say, hey, listen, cut that out. Why are you playing so small? That's not you. Not because I'm making fun of you. That's not you. People need to see you. They need to love you. They want to work with you. Stop hiding. Stop trying to be something for someone. That conversation is the highest form of love. Without trust, candor is criticism. With trust, candor is love. Until you've earned the right candor conversation with somebody, candor is judgment. So Melissa, you weren't making fun of Blake. You were showing him how much you love him. That's the difference. Never apologize for how much you love him.
I would say that's almost that authenticity right there was the most impactful thing that I had like heard in a long time. In a time in my career, it wasn't a character. That's who I was. That's it. And authentically, that's what I was. But now in my life, fast forward just like a year and this season of where I'm at in my life, it's like, hey, that's a character.
If we value integrity and we value authenticity and we're not being true to ourselves, we're out of integrity and we're completely inauthentic. And it's coming from fear of judgment, fear of looking wrong, fear of being silly. There was a quote, hold on, let me think of it here. Anyone who you lost by being real was fake. Anyone you lose by being real was fake to begin with. I am building a tribe of the real ones. We all have work to do. Listen, I had to get on a call on Monday. We lost a team of agents that I needed to have that conversation months ago with them. I loved them out of our organization. I wasn't taking a big enough stand for them. They left for a new environment. It wasn't the environment. It was my fault. I let them continue to not be aware of their own ownership in their situation. It's going to make me a better coach. And for those of you that I'm working with in coaching, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm not going to let you fall into the delusion that your success or lack thereof has anything other to do with you. Well, maybe an environment shift will change it. You know what you take with you in a new environment? Your own shitty mindset. That comes with you everywhere you go.
I literally said all your own shit.
All your own shit. Baggage versus luggage. There's a difference. Let's have a conversation around this. Like, what are you feeling having this kind of conversation? Does it excite you? Does it scare you? Are you a little nervous? Are you worried? Are you like internalizing it going, uh-oh? Because several of you are going to text me later, go like, why were you talking at me and not calling me out? Marcus is laughing. He's like, stop talking at me.
No, so the environment thing, I got an office space. I get distracted at home. The kids are home for summer break. And it's like, you know, I think there is some truth to that for the environment, but I'm also like, yeah, I'm taking my shitty habits somewhere else. And I think that there's my reasoning is there's less shitty habits, I guess. You know, I don't have TV or I don't have kids, you know, stuff that distracts me at home. But I feel like you were talking to me, you know, at the same time.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that there are not benefits to certain environments. There are certain environments that create more of a conducive environment to take action. But if you're watching Netflix at home, you're going to watch Netflix in the office when you don't want to lead generate. You're going to TikTok in the office as opposed to home. You're going to go to Quick Trip and get another soda at the office instead of home. Like, the only thing that changes is the view. If you don't fix what's inside, you'll just be looking out the window in an office wondering where your business is as opposed to the one behind you. I'm a believer in certain office spaces. There's times where I got to get out of the house if I really want to get productive and eliminate my distractions. Because I know that when I get there, I'm like, all right, I'm in work mode. Like this environment means work mode. Like when I go to the gym, I'm not cooking. I'm not baking a cake in the gym. When I go to the gym, I'm lifting. Like that environment causes me to work out, not cook. So if I'm in my kitchen, it's hard for me to work because I want to eat. So does that make sense? So I don't want to discredit the value of making sure that your environment supports your goals. There's a lot of data around that. I'm saying if you've optimized your environment, you've optimized your technology, and you've got systems and you have coaching, and there's other people around you that are succeeding, but you're not, it's not the environment.
Yeah, Matt, I think what I do is I don't maybe want to face some realities of like, you know, it's like, well, I just get an office space and that'll fix all these
That's
issues.
the trap.
Like, that's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trap, right? So the good news is like, okay, well, we can fix it and you're in an optimized space. Melissa, what's up?
Blake's stomach just growled so loud.
Well, it better be because he's behind.
No, I'm not.
I guess my first thought was 100% agree on like the environment, but also I feel like environment can also be considered like who you have around you.
Yeah, your environment should support your goals, 100%.
You could have this exact same environment, but what if you chose to ask the people in those environment different questions to hold you to a different accountability? We just asked each other different questions, and I asked people, hey, will you hold me accountable to this? Will you coach me in this? Will you challenge me in this? Will you do this? And then I set up an environment. I just changed my mindset. Those people were already there, but I was comfortable in that. It just took myself to go, nope, this is what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, and how I'm going to do it. I just need to set myself up and put myself in a position and ask different questions to reach the goals that I wanted to reach.
So I'm going to go back to, I think, what I was thinking at the beginning here when you were talking, Matt, and it was like, because it kind of ties in, it does tie in, is that calling that stuff out is affirming to me because it's aligning with what I'm thinking and what I'm planning. This group is part of changing the environment for me. I'm grateful for this group, and I know people say that, but I'm saying it because I now feel like this is my space. I'm not coming to your space.
There you go. Oh, I love that.
We're talking together. We're masterminding together, and this is not about judgment. This is like, how do you get it done? Because that's the only thing that's going to help me get better.
Hey, Matt, as far as this group and the gratitude with it, I don't think about it much, but it just hit me. I never liked public speaking, some version of public speaking. I mean, you feel like a bunch of eyes on you, but I've grown to be more comfortable with it. Just thankful for you and everybody else.
There'd be no space without you guys. So if I was just in a Zoom room by myself, it's not that compelling. Like you guys are the ones that make it. As we go through this weekend, I want to ask yourself, create an awareness around the interactions you have with the people around you most. And just take notice of when you do notice something that you would like to say in order to help somebody, but you're afraid they may take it wrong. And find a way to love them enough to have that conversation. How could you say it in a way that they could receive it? The people that are close to me right now, I'm so grateful for. I mean, just yesterday, I had somebody reach out to me. He asked what my thoughts were, and I sent him just several very direct questions to consider that he couldn't hide behind. And he's like, man, thank you. Those are exactly what I needed. He was able to do that for me before. When are you going to stop falling in love with your bullshit and fall in love with your potential?
I also think a lot of times when it comes to those hard conversations, people get it built up in their mind how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
They think it's going to be the worst possible thing. And then you have the hard conversation and it's like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad. But a lot of people are stuck like in that fear. They won't even have one, where I feel like if you just were to just bite the bullet, have the hard conversation, you'll realize it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And then you can keep having them. But a lot of times people won't even have that first one. So they'll avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, and the risk is this, and literally this was another coaching call yesterday that I had a client who their spouse doesn't communicate well, doesn't communicate emotionally. They're very non-emotional communicators. And this individual really just desires a deeper connection. And then by the time they're able or willing to have that conversation, it's so emotional for them, it can't be a rational conversation. And then it turns into a whole thing. So not having the conversation builds it and builds it and builds it to the point where when you can no longer hold it in, when it comes out, it's not controlled. It's highly emotional. It's not logical. And then it's very difficult to not have it be misinterpreted in such a way, but it's because it's been festering, it's been fermenting, it's been bubbling, and the pressure gets to the point where something tears, and it could tear the fabric of the relationship if held in too long. If you really love your people, love them enough to have the conversation, because that is the relationship. And that was today's conversation that converts.